Hey, good morning. Yes, it is. It is Saturday morning, May 7th, right? May 7th. It's June 7th. So, what's today's talk? Well, it is the weekend, right? So, I thought I'd talk along the lines of how do we accomplish things we want out of life? And also, when you start feeling like no one's there to help you. That should intrigue you. So, stay tuned. Hey, good morning. Yes, it is. It is June 7th of 2025. So, what are we talking about today? Well, I'm talking about trying to accomplish things in life that are important to you. See, that's the biggest thing in life. You have to decide of what is important and what is not so important. And then once you have decided what is the important things, then going after it. And I can use an example in my own life of walking from the house to the shop, which figures out to be 9/10 of a mile. Okay? And last year at this time, if somebody said that I could walk 100 yards, I would have laughed in their face because I have peripheral in my legs and stuff where it doesn't get enough blood flow. I'm on blood thinners. And what ends up happening is the backs of my calves will just scream in pain. But what I didn't realize, and I realize now, is you can't do the all or nothing. You can't say, I'm going to walk a mile and not have shorter distances along the way. And what do I mean by that? I mean, walk 100 feet total for the first day, walk 125 the next day. And you're building yourself up. And there may be repetitive days where you have to stay at that 200 feet mark, right? 200-foot mark. But you can't give up. You have to keep striving and pushing. And did I have to push through some of the pain? Yes. But I had my goal. I wanted to be able to reach the shop. And when I finally could walk from the house to the shop, decided why not try to walk to the shop and back. And I've done that. I now can walk to the shop and walk back without somebody having to dial 911 to get an ambulance to rush me to the nearest ER because my legs hurt and I'm out of breath. But did I conquer it overnight? Did I achieve my objective straight out of the gate? Absolutely not. Did I have setbacks? Yes, absolutely. Was God on my side? Yes, but I had to do the major pulling and pushing and exerting to show Him that it was something that I felt was worthwhile to me. See, with cardiac rehab, that's one of the things that I do is they put me on the treadmill like the mice that go around and around and around and have me walk steady for 20 minutes. And what I find is the treadmill, walking on the treadmill and walking on pavement or even sandy shoulders on the road are different. The treadmill seems to have more give, bouncy, bouncy, so that you're not hitting solid when every step that you are making. So I kind of give it a little bit of both on the way down, on the way back. And that is I'll walk on the road for a little ways and then I'll get into the sand. But when I first started, I would have to stop every couple of minutes because my legs would be screaming, right? And let them calm down. Then I go a little farther. And now I've got so I only do one stop in between on my way to the shop. And then I have one stop on the way back. And I should be doing it the opposite way because on the way down to the shop, most of it's downhill. And then on the way back, of course, it's all uphill. And for me to achieve that, I just kept competing with myself and drawing that line on the side of the road saying, I'm going to do better than this tomorrow. Even if it's by 10 feet, 20 feet, what have you. I'm going to do better than I did yesterday. And that's how you need to come at life. Is stop worrying about what everybody else thinks or wants or this or that. Decide what's really important to you. And once you know what is important to you, the best advice I can give you is to compete with yourself and not everybody else. Don't do things because you want to be like somebody else. You got to be yourself. You got to love yourself. And I know at times I've hated myself. And I bet you have too. And I've had times where I had a lot of self-doubt. And I know you have too. But what I'm trying to tell you is if I can do all these things that I put my mind to, then I know you can as well. Easy peasy. It's just maybe no one has taught you like no one taught me that we can't look at trying to do it out the gate. It doesn't happen that way. It's like saving money. If you check daily how much money you've saved, you probably aren't going to be too encouraged about it. But if you put $10 a day aside into a cookie jar, what are you going to end up with? $3,620 for the year. And that's $10 a day. No. Yeah. If you put $100 a month in a cookie jar, what are you going to have? You're going to have $1,200 at the end of the year. Short-term goals to reach the ultimate. How do I get to the $1,200? You got to start with breaking it down and saying, can I afford to put $100 in my savings account every month? And at the end of the year, it's $1,200. And then if you continue doing that the following year, now it's $2,400. It's doubled in what it set out to be. You're doing part-time work and you can do more than the $100. Do more than the $100. That's how your savings account grows. It's not taking $1,200 and putting it into a savings account, which some can do. I'm just using these numbers as an example. But for most of us, it has to be broken down. And what I find is I don't like carrying change, and I don't like basically $1 bills. And the girls at the bank always give me that look when I come in with like $300-400 in $1 bills. And I tell them that I end up getting it because I'm a male gigolo, and they slip the dollars underneath my underwear. But I don't. So what I end up doing is I have jars of change and jars of dollars. And next thing you know, I got jars of dollars and $5. And at the end of the year, it adds up to be quite a bit of money. My daughter, when I went into the hospital, cleaned out the center console of my truck where I threw my change in $1 bills. And it was over $1,000 in there. By the time she sorted through it all, there was over $1,000 just in change and $1 bills that I hate carrying. But that's one way you can save, right? You can take it and put it into a savings account, or you can take it into the bank, swap it out for $101 for $100 bill, and put it in your safe to home. But as long as you're saving, right? And if you want to buy something, and you can't afford to just step right out and buy it outright, what do? We get a loan, and we're doing it over the long run with shorter amounts per month. Yes, we have interest, but we get shorter payments per month to the ultimate of having it paid for in the end, right? So when you're setting goals, you need short term and long term. You can't just have the goal and start running for the goal, right? Because that's where a lot of people fail. They get overwhelmed by looking at the whole instead of breaking it down into segments where it's more manageable. Does that make any sense? I know that some of you aren't going to get it. Okay? You're going to get it later on, but you're probably not going to get it today. And the ones that aren't going to totally get it are the younger people. You younger guys and gals out there. You're young, you've got a whole life ahead of you, but us old timers, our time on earth is less going ahead than it was coming to where we are. So we're more reflective on, and we have more experience. Sometimes not good experience, but we have more experience. And then that takes it to the next step, and that is being around people that are the right people. And how do you know if they're the right people? Well, the right people are going to accept you for who you are. And you're going to accept them for who they are. You're not going to be trying to change them or do this or do that, right? But the one thing that you are willing to do, and they are willing to do, is to help you along the way achieve greatness. Achieve whatever you want to achieve, right? Those are the right people to have. They're the people that are going to still be there when you hit rock bottom, waiting for you to reach out. The wrong people will be gone, long gone, never to be seen again. They were superficial. So you need to pick your friends wisely. And you need to surround yourself with people that you're willing to help without looking for anything in return other than to see them succeed at whatever they want, as long as it's not detrimental to themselves or others, right? But if you can help somebody, why wouldn't you help them? Why wouldn't you take a little bit of time out of your busy schedule to help a friend achieve something that they feel they would like to achieve? See, when they win, you win. If that's understandable. And what comes around goes around. If you're hanging with the right people and you're willing to help them when you can, you're going to find it's reciprocal, that they're going to help you when they can. And you can never approach things in life with other people of thinking that there should be a payback or a payoff by helping somebody. If you approach something like that, you're doing it all wrong. You should always approach everything in life when it comes to helping somebody else is that there is no payoff other than knowing that you did the right thing, okay? So many people I see think they need to have something in return if they help you. And again, I can tell you, those are the wrong people, or they're misguided, but they're the wrong people, because the only time they're going to step in and help somebody is if there's some kind of a personal gain for themselves. And that's just not life or God's way. You know, you help other people when you can. And A, don't keep reminding them how you helped them. B, think that they're going to come and help you in the end when you need it. You see what I'm saying? Because if you only help people if there's personal gain, good chances are you aren't going to help much, right? And if you got the attitude of, well, they're not going to help me, so why should I help them? You need to change your attitude, or you should. My take on it is I'm willing to help anybody at any time when I can, as long as it's not detrimental to me or somebody else, all right? And I'll take the win if they feel like they won, all right? That's good enough for me. Just knowing that I helped somebody out to help with their personal best for that day. End of story. I'm not going to remind that person over and over again of how I was the one that pulled them through, right? No, that's the wrong reason. And if you are like that, people are going to stop asking you or looking to you to help because they don't want to keep reminded of their shortcoming, of where you stepped in and helped them. If that's understandable. So I'm going to start wrapping this up. It's not going to be a long video today. I got some rototillering in the garden with the tractor, t-ball, baseball, and then visiting my wife. But think about that in terms of what your own life is. When you're approaching things, you have to approach it with short-term and long-term goals. You can't expect to walk 2 miles out the gate, but you can do 50 foot and then maybe 100 foot the next day, and you might have to do a couple 100 feet for a couple 2 or 3 days until you can get built up enough to go past that 100, right? Savings, same way. It doesn't sound like much per day to put away, but at the end of the year, you'll find that you've saved quite a bit. And tuck money, I call it. And pick the right people to be around for the right reasons. And that is because you would do anything for them if they needed it. Don't be around people because they're the cool people or the popular people. It never works out. It's usually superficial. So on that note, you guys have a great Saturday, and I'll see you about tomorrow's Sunday sermon. On that note, you guys have a great weekend.